It's Saturday, April 21st, 2018. And it's time for a My 10's list. And today's topic, 10 video games that surprised me. Whether good, whether bad, I was surprised. There are some games I've played where it's like I thought to myself, I think I might like that game. And then I love the game. Way more than I probably should. And then there are games I'm sitting there going, that game's gonna be epic! And it sucks. So we're just gonna do 10 games that jumped out at me as I was looking through my games going, I love that game. Oh, I didn't like that game so much. Oh, but I thought that game was gonna be great. It's so bad you can taste how bad the game is. That's what some of these are. But we're going to do this, no particular order. We're going to do some good, some bad. Maybe there'll be an ugly. But we will start off with this game right here. Lunar Silver Star Story. Lunar Silver Star Story and Eternal Blue. Both of them. I played these first on the Sega CD. A buddy of mine had them. Told me I should play them. I gave him a shot. Love the story. Loved the characters. I didn't know if I would like the game or not. I was starting to get into RPGs, and he recommended that I should play them. So at the time, I was just kind of like, eh. The first couple of RPGs I had played were okay, but I love statistics. I love building up a character. I love creating that kind of stuff. I like the grinding aspect of a lot of RPGs, so I was always willing to give one a shot. Well, it's like this one right here. This one grabbed me. This one grabbed me, held on to me, loved the story, loved the characters, loved the music, everything about it. I love this game. Love the battle system. I am so sad that they've never really done really a Lunar 3. I know they had like a Lunar Magic School, and they've had a couple of other weird little offshoots, but they've never really given us a true Lunar sequel. Or, they're doing a Final Fantasy VII remake. Why not redo this bad boy? To me, this game has a better story, has better characters. Final Fantasy VII is phenomenal. I love Final Fantasy VII, but this one I love even more. So I would love to see this, and both of them, Final Fantasy VII and Lunar Silver Star Story, would be epic. So we're going to go with another one that I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did. Chrono Trigger was a game that I'd always heard was one of the best games ever made, one of the best RPGs ever made. It's still called one of the best RPGs ever made. I didn't play it though. I didn't really have means to. I didn't have a Super Nintendo. I had a Super Nintendo, but back when I had a Super Nintendo, I was kind of more into sports games. And since there weren't a lot of great sports games on the Super Nintendo, I sold it and just played my Genesis. So I missed out on a lot of the great RPGs of the Super Nintendo, but eventually they released Chrono Trigger on PlayStation. But the game I actually played first was this, Chrono Cross. Played this. It was just an RPG. Didn't really know what to expect. I knew Squaresoft made it, who made the great Final Fantasy VII that I loved before this came out. And knowing that Squaresoft was really responsible for a lot of very good RPGs, I was interested in this one. But I didn't know I would love it as much as I did. I loved it so much that I actually went out and bought the Chrono Trigger, which I think came with like Final Fantasy IV or something like that. I went out and bought them for the PlayStation. And not as big of a fan of Chrono Trigger as I was of Chrono Cross. I'm probably one of the few people on the planet that loves Chrono Cross way more than Chrono Trigger. I never got into Chrono Trigger, but I love Chrono Cross. I love the music. With Chrono Cross, because I pre-ordered Chrono Cross, I got a little music CD that had like 3 or 4 songs. I love the music. I love the characters. I love the battle system. I love the upgrade system. I love every part of this game. To me, I would love to see also, remaking Final Fantasy VII, remake this, remake Lunar. I know I'm asking an awful lot of a lot of people to just remake old games, and it's like here we say, there's never innovation. Nobody ever makes new IPs. Oh, we love the old ones so much. So another game. I was huge into sports games in my Genesis. Huge. Loved sports games. But this one, I just bought it because it was a sports game. It was a football game. Just had to have it. I didn't know it was going to become probably my favorite football game of all time. Tecmo Super Bowl for the Genesis. Not the original Tecmo Bowl on the Nintendo. Tecmo Super Bowl on the Genesis. I used to play every single game. Every game. I would pick what team I wanted to win. I'd make the computer play the other team, and I would play that other team, and I'd play the entire season, every single game. Now remember, this is back when there was only 28 teams, so it's only 14 games per week instead of 16. And then at the end of the season, if I could find that book, I still have the book, I would write down the stats of every single player. I had 6 seasons worth of stats. I have their career totals of every single player over 6 seasons of doing this game. That's how much I loved it. 6 full seasons, every game. I wrote down the stats. I have them in a big booklet somewhere. Every stat for every player written down. I love the game that much. I didn't know I was going to love it. I didn't know it was going to become probably my favorite football game of all time. But that was a great game. Now we're going to get into a game that I was looking, when I had my Xbox 360, the one thing I was missing was Gran Turismo. I didn't buy a PlayStation 3 right away. I bought an Xbox 360 because all my friends had one. So I was missing Gran Turismo, and I needed something like that to fill the void while I had my 360 and no PS3. So I went out and I bought this, Forza Motorsport 3. Now, I just thought it was going to be a racing game. And I said, okay, it's a racing game. It's not going to be better than Gran Turismo. Nobody does it better than Gran Turismo. Forza Motorsport 3 did it better than Gran Turismo. Did it way better than Gran Turismo. The graphics, the car lineup, the tracks, I was blown away by how much. I probably sunk almost 300 hours into this game. I loved it. Still love it. It is probably my favorite Forza Motorsport game. My favorite Forza game is probably Horizon 3, and it might be Horizon 4 when that one comes out, but Forza Motorsport 3 is my favorite motorsport game. And they've released 4 of them since, and Forza Motorsport 3 is still my favorite. 4 is really good as well. 4 is a terrific game. But we're going to get into the disappointing Forza right now with my next game. The next game on my list, and this one is the first one that goes into the disappointment. Forza Motorsport 5. Forza Motorsport 3 and Forza Motorsport 4 showed an up climb for how the series was getting. It was getting better all the time. Forza Motorsport 5 felt like a step back. It felt like, I know the reason Forza Motorsport 5 is a step back, because this was going to be the showcase game for the Xbox One. So Turn 10 Studios kind of had to rush this thing out. So it has a lot less cars, not as many tracks, not as many things really to do in this game. And it was disappointing, because it felt almost like 3 was really great. A lot of fans feel like the Motorsport series peaked at 4, and 5 feels like a step back. In fact, out of all the Motorsport games that I played, and I haven't gotten to play 1 yet because I don't have an original Xbox, Forza Motorsport 5 is my least favorite. It just felt weak. It really did feel like backtracking, and it's like you were here at 4 and then you took a step back and went even below 3. I would play 3 and 4 way before I'd play 5. 6, of course, is better. 7 is better, but 5 was a real disappointment. I still liked the game, and I still played a ton because I love the Forza Motorsport series. But it was disappointing, and I know why, and I don't really blame Turn 10 Studios. I know that Microsoft put a lot of pressure on them to get this game out for the launch of the Xbox One. Now we're going to go with another sports game for the Genesis, and a game that surprised me, because it's not even a sport I really like that much. But I love this game. Love it. That's right, PGA Tour Golf. PGA Tour Golf. Golf. A golf video game? You know why? Because I was just buying any sports video game I could get my hands on. I don't know if I bought this thing brand new or used. I really don't. I can't remember. I know this is my original. I think I did buy it brand new. But I played it, and I was blown away by how much I love the game. I put probably easy 150, 200 hours, and all I ever did was play one course. TPC at Sawgrass. Wonder if they have that back here. They don't. But it was the only course. It had like 4 courses on it. TPC at Sawgrass was the only one I ever played because of hole number 17, the water hole. Basically, it's just a green in the middle of a lake. And it's one of those that would frustrate the heck out of you, because if you miss it once, you're probably going to miss it the next 12 times because the wind is blowing it way off course. But the thing I loved about this is you could create your own golfer. You could keep track of their career stats. The golfers you create, you could keep track. I had one named Ice-T. I had one named Sam Kinison. It's like, and they were good. And you know why they were good? Because you could save after every shot. It's so much cheating, because it's like I would do a good shot and then I would save it. And then it's like if the next shot was a bad shot, nope, go back and just reload the save. It was that easy. I got some very, 20, 30 under pars. That's not realistic, kids. But I love the game. It was fun. Next game, we're going to go to the disappointment side. Test Drive Unlimited 2. I wanted to love this game. Open world. It is a nice looking game, but it is very floaty. I actually put more time into the casino. They had a casino upgrade or something to this. I spent more time in the casino playing a slot machine game than I did playing the racing. I didn't like the driving. I didn't like the racing. It's too floaty. It wasn't a lot of fun. I couldn't get into it. So yeah, it was. If they make a Test Drive Unlimited 3, I think they could do a much better job. This game is still pretty good, but I was disappointed because I really wanted to love this game. I mean, it was Forza Horizon before Horizon, but Horizon did a little bit better. Test Drive Unlimited 2's world is bigger, but Forza Horizon did it better. Another game, supreme disappointment. I love the original Ridge Racer. This game was terrible. It didn't feel really like a Ridge Racer game. It almost felt like it was trying to be part simulation, part arcadey racer, but it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like a Ridge Racer. I tried and tried and tried, and it's like I couldn't progress through the game. I was having the toughest time with this thing. And I got so mad at it, I just stopped playing it. And I really wanted to love it. Now, here's my next game. World of Warcraft. What side does that fall on, Randy? Disappointment. There was a time I was playing a ton of MMOs. A ton of them. I'd play things like Nine Dragons. I think there was another one called Perfect World, Silk Road. I mean, Fliff. Whatever I could get my hands on. I was playing any MMO. Of course, this is one of the most popular MMOs of all time. And I didn't really like it very much. I didn't. I tried. I think I put 30 or 40 hours into it. Everybody told me play as a paladin. Play as a paladin because then you can kind of solo the game a little bit, and because you got a kind of a warrior type that can kind of heal himself. It was a slow grind. It was boring. I didn't really have a lot of friends who were playing the game at the time, or they didn't play at the time that I could play. So I wasn't super impressed with it. But we're going to go with this game, as we're going to finish on a high note. Warriors Orochi 2. I had gotten out of the Warriors series. I didn't want to play him anymore. And then my buddy, he bought this game. I played it, and I became a Warriors fan again. I played 3, I played 4, I played 5, and I started to get out of it. I played 6, wasn't super impressed, never played Warriors Orochi 1. Played this one, and I haven't left again. I love the Warriors series because of this game. This game resurrected my love for the Warriors series. Thank you, because now Warriors Orochi 4 will be coming out this year. Yes! Yes! To all the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom to play this game!